So today I'm going to take you guys on a little backyard garden tour so that you guys can get ideas for your home garden. So we're going to start over here at my composting station. This is just a DIY trash can method of composting that I do. This one is still empty. I am going to switch this system out to something different so that I don't have to turn it every so often. Over here, I have some I think they're 8x2 garden beds that still need to be topped off with compost. Along this fence line here, I'm going to grow some sunflowers. And with those sunflowers, I'm going to harvest the seeds and use them for growing microgreens. And of course for roasting and things like that. So my yard is extremely sloped. So I grow on this side, and then over here on this concrete pad, I'm going to add some more green stalks. But I grow food on this side, and my main garden is on the other side. Got some stairs that we put in so that I can get to the top of the hill over there, because I have 2 beehives that I'm gonna start this year. So these stairs came in handy while trying to access the hill safely. And up here, I'm just gonna have my hives. I think I'm gonna put down some rocks in this area here, and then make sure it's leveled before the bees come up here. On the fabric below this little barrier, I'm gonna put in some native flowers. I have a list of native flowers that I want to install. And then I'm gonna mulch the flowers around. I have a big erosion problem here in my yards, and I am not the handiest person in the world. So you're gonna see a lot of just easy projects that I can do to my ability without spending a ton of money, putting in retainer walls and leveled garden beds and all of that stuff. So I use these pallets here and this border here to kind of make extra space for all of my fruit trees. I have apples, cherries, plums, and peaches. Some of them are still really young, so they're not going to produce for me this year. And some of them, like this big Florida King here, will produce for me. Let's see what this is. Yep, and an Alberta. That one might produce, I'm not sure. But I have a Georgia peach over there in the corner. That one is definitely going to produce this year. If you're growing in a small space, you can consider getting some patio peaches, which are just really tiny porch peach trees. They're really pretty. I love the foliage on these trees. I got 2 different varieties, Bonanza and Bonfire. Got them both at Home Depot. I have an elderberry plant growing back here. And then these little things here are just animal alarms to keep deer, raccoons, and skunks out of the yard. So here I have an arch trellis. I'm going to have to get some additional trellis netting, because last year I tried growing up this trellis and the spaces are way too far apart. So I'm going to have to get some additional netting to throw over it so that all of the vining plants can actually climb. I have another arched trellis here. There's a grapevine. I have garlic in this bed here, and after this garlic is done, I'm gonna put in some watermelon. So this is gonna turn into a melon bed. Also, if you are struggling or have a small space, purchasing dwarf variety fruit trees is gonna save your life. This is I think it's a Granny, it's a Granny Smith apple. It's a dwarf variety. I purchased most of my fruit trees from Fast Growing Trees. I really like them compared to some of the other vendors that I have used. And then over here, I just have, these are my very first raised beds. And then I switched over to the Vajayga raised beds. I really like those a lot better than these beds because these beds started to rust on me. Nothing's wrong with them. It's just that rust, and over time, it's not going to last a long period of time compared to the gray raised beds that I have. So this is where I plan to grow cabbages and my brassicas. I have insect netting over it already. I'm still on the fence on what this bed is going to be. I think I want to grow my pasting tomatoes in this bed, but I'm not sure yet. In the back, I have these little planters with some siding hooks just hanging out there. Another way to take advantage of growing if you're in a small space. This does not hurt the house. It hooks underneath the siding and you can just put your planter right there. I grew lettuce and herbs in these planters last season and they did well. I have strawberries over here in this bed and I need to mulch the top of this bed. I had garlic growing in this raised bed and it rotted out, so I removed it yesterday. And I think I'm just going to put more strawberries in here. I have these wind spinners in these strawberry beds because birds, they tend to avoid things that move and spin. And the birds did find a way to get inside of these raised beds last year. So I'm just being proactive this year to keep them out of my strawberries. I have a variety of blackberries. I want to say that is lavender. And then this is a raspberry. I have them all growing in pots. I think what I'm going to do is get some more of those center blocks and just raise them up off the ground. I really like that. I don't like things being directly on the ground. Not that I have like a pest issue or anything, but it's just easier for me to harvest and garden when things are off of the ground. So over here, I have lettuce growing in a grow bag. I think this is a 50-gallon grow bag. Either a 25 or a 50. I can't remember. I have kale, Egyptian walking onion. I have peas. This is a Sugar Daddy pea, which is a small container pea variety. And I'm going to get some more peas planted and growing up the trellis over here. Behind the trellis, I have some container varieties, bushel and berry. They have container berries. So again, if you are short on space, that company has container berries. So you can just easily put these planters on your patio or something. A plum tree. And then this bed, this did not work out for me. This style of grow bag. So I'm going to pull this out. Save the soil, of course. And I'm going to pull that out. Let's go inside the greenhouse where it's nice and warm. Come on, Chloe. I have a green stalk full of strawberries. Here is a peach tree. And I have my 2 apricot trees in here. They bloomed really early. And they are frost sensitive. So, Chloe, please get out of that. They are frost sensitive. So, I brought them inside of the greenhouse and they are doing excellent. That's why it's so hard to grow apricots in Missouri. Because they bloom early, like late February. And we'll get another frost. Like, outside it's really cold. It's frost and stuff on the ground, and those blooms will die off and you won't get fruit. So I brought them inside the greenhouse and I'm gonna hope I get fruit from them this year. I have 2 pecan trees. Pecans cannot grow in containers, but these are little babies. I'm gonna nurse them until I can plant them out in the ground at my next property. I have 2 birdies raised beds in here that hold soil at the bottom. So if you're on a deck or a patio and you don't want like a soil spot left, these birdies raised beds have a tray underneath to contain the soil so it won't stain your deck or your patio. So that works out well. I'm going to grow ginger and turmeric in here, and I haven't decided what I'm going to grow in this bed yet. Over here, I have a handful of plant starts. My beautiful brassicas. I have collards, cabbages, cauliflower, and Ethiopian kale growing over here. And then these were some plant starts that I purchased from Etsy. I brought them out too soon, so they died back, but they are growing. So. And then just some storage. I picked these up from Sam's Club. This is some echinacea, a variety of echinacea. And this is a butterfly bush that I'm going to plant out in my garden. I have some elderberries that the Department of Conservation sent over. Well, I ordered them from the Department of Conservation. They were $1 a piece. So that's another way that you can get your food forest started, is by ordering from your state's Department of Conservation at a significant discount. They'll send you like trees and fruiting bushes, all kinds of stuff that are native to your land. I'm sorry, native to your area. So that is it for today's video. That is the garden so far. I still have a ton of work to do. So that is it for today's video. I still have a ton of things to do to prepare for spring. I still have seeds I need to start. I need to start my tomatoes. I have not started those yet. Just a lot of things to do to prep for spring. So I hope this video gave you a little inspiration for your home garden, and I'll catch you all in the next one.